I got an 11 on that, Hark.
I'll say that
The
after.
idea is to get the cool. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So you can get to the cool soil. While you guys are trying to tend to sink, several Krogan appear, and they looked very ticked.
Shit.
And they see
I'm the worst watchdog ever.
Yeah, they see their chief dead, and they said, "Did you just kill our chief?"
He ain't dead yet.
Rayne's gonna pipe up and immediately step back and point a gun to his head. It's like, no, he's not dead yet, but if you get any closer, he's gonna be.
The Krogan pull out their shotguns, but they don't fire.
I stand up and remove my veil and take a step towards them and say, he's just getting what's coming for him.
Nice.
I like living, so.
One of them, I think only one of them recognizes you. The one Krogan eyes goes wide and he says, "You. What are you doing here?"
I'm coming back to finish what I started. And it seems you've been busy while I've been gone.
I think at this point, Anar would pop up and say, "Hey guys, there's some Oh shit!
How did you escape from the lab?
The lab? What do you mean? I escaped here like years ago.
You can't fool me, Cal Gael.
Everyone who's looking at Arkara can see that she's visibly shaken.
He just said, "You don't fool me, Cal
thinks you're a
Gael."
clone.
But Arkara knows that name, though.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's not possible. I bring up my Omni tool and see if I try to see if I've gotten any response to me trying to ping my contact, so to speak. Well, the actual guy out.
Ah, yes. So you're trying to contact that one?
Yeah, I tried to do that when we landed, but I didn't get any response.
Ah, I see. I don't think you would be able to get a response this moment then, if that was the case.
So I just stand there, very visibly shaken, at a loss for words. You've never really seen Arkara shaken this badly.
I guess right here, Rayne's gonna pipe up, like, okay. It really doesn't matter to me what your inner Krogan politics are, but, could you lower the guns, or, no, I'm gonna have to take off the nice plate caps your chief has here. And she pulls out a knife.
Wait, one of the other Krogan says. This is a younger looking Krogan. I know who you are. Is he pointing at Rayne?
And I don't care.
You should have won, the Krogan says.
I do care, thank you. But tell your friends to put their guns down.
Don't you know who she is? The Krogans look at him funny. We don't care who she is. She is the person who should have won at the Citadel's Got Talent. The Krogan look at the other Krogan oddly like, what the F are you talking about? Is anyone taking advantage of the situation while these Krogan are distracted?
Rayne has been. She's been trying to get Otto over to her so she can tell him to try and get the cool dirt to sink, while Arkara has them distracted.
Yeah, the Otto will do that.
I'm still trying to stabilize sync,
I'm busy back here with.
While this is happening, you start. Dylan, what happens if the defibrillator succeeds?
The voice will say, "Running defibrillation, please stay clear." And then if you wait a couple seconds, and then you'll see like a shock go through Sync's body, and she'll pull up a couple readings, and she'll say, "Arterial blood gas collected, running scans," And I don't know if you might want to write this down. She'll say pH, or it'll be like a screen. You'll see different lab values. You'll
I
see
take
pH.
screenshots.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. The pH is 7.28, and it's highlighted in red. The PL2 is 98, and it's highlighted in green. PCl2 is 89, and it's highlighted in red. And the HCO3 is 24, and it's highlighted in green. And after you see all that, she'll say, displaying recommended medication to administer. And you'll see 3 different medicines underneath that. It'll be epinephrine, HCO3, and 0.9% normal saline. So you have, which one do you choose? I'm trying to put you on the spot.
Hang on. Epinephrine HCl3.
Which is
And what
bicarbonate
was the
acid.
last one? And saline.
Yeah, 0.9% normal saline.
Well, hang on. Next question. I mean, it's just saying recommended medicine. It's not actually saying anything about what you currently have.
You don't know that. Like it's like asking. It's kind of like the select screen thing again, like it was.
Oh, it's actually saying select an option.
Yeah.
See, I'm starting to picture, Clippy from Microsoft Word. It looks like
Yeah,
you're
I
trying
know.
to revive. It looks like you're
Yes.
trying to resurrect your friend. Do you need help?
So the screenshot again, it was saying PCO2 was in red, HCl3 was in green.
Mm-hmm. And pH was in red.
pH was in red,
Yes.
but that was basically neutral, so I don't know why pH would be
Well,
red.
the body's
What was the
pH is
other-
7. Body's pH is 7.35 to 7.45.
Yeah, so you're slightly under. You're slightly acidic. But what was the other one?
So O2.
There was a
PO2,
green option.
98.
PCO2 was in red, and what was the other one?
PO2 and HCO3. We're both in green.
Okay, so you don't need more oxygen. Carbon dioxide levels are high, and HCl3. I keep thinking that's hydrochloric acid. So
It's
you don't need more of
bicarbonate
that.
acid.
And if you're too acidic, you definitely don't need HCl3. And the other one was saline, and the other one, I'm going to choose epinephrine.
Okay.
I think that's basically an adrenaline thing, isn't it?
Yes. You pick epinephrine, and then on the image of his body, you see his peripheral blood vessels start to constrict, and you see his heart rate start to increase. Like you see his heart pumping faster and faster.
Oh, that's exactly what it should be doing, so yay.
Do you pick any other medicines?
Saline. He's lost blood.
Okay, you'll do that. And then what about the bicarb?
Oh, there was bicarb? Definitely.
Okay, you pick the bicarb. You see on the little monitor his bicarb starts to go up. His pH starts to rise up as well.
Okay, cutting back to what's going on with all the Krogan. How's Arkara and the others dealing with the 3? Right now, there's still only 3 Krogan there. One of whom seems to be too starstruck to do anything, and the other 2 look confused at the starstruck Krogan.
Well,
Narcissist.
she still has her gun to the guy, and she's going to speak to the starstruck ones. Like, come on, we don't have to do anything else here. If everything works out, we can just let this guy go, and then I can give you your autograph.
The Krogans start thinking, and then they say, "Shoot him!" Looking at Rayne.
She is going to point the gun at his hand and fire.
Are you so you're firing his hand?
Yeah, she's not kidding around.
Shoot him in the head before I do it, the Krogan says.
Ah, I see how this is going.
Yeah.
She's going to look at Arkara and see what her body language is.
She looks very tense, and
now.
she's starting to lift her assault rifle and move slowly towards the other guys.
All right, so she's going to curse under her breath and is like, all right. She's going to basically whip out the closest thing to a phone that these guys have, and she's going to hold it up to her ear, and she's going to be like, all right, guys, I'm going to need a big ol' flaming airstrike at these coordinates.
Okay. The one of the younger Krogan says, wait. We don't need. He says that is not needed, not necessary.
Are you sure? Because you look like you really want to shoot me. I could set us all on fire. I'll die, but I'll take you with me.
The younger Krogan looks at the other two Krogan and says, they're doing us a favor. Our chief dies. We can pick a new chief.
Or you all become Krogan barbecue. I like my idea.
Picking a new chief might be a good idea. Choose wisely this time around.
New chief sounds like a good idea. With that, they say, we'll put away our weapons if you do. First, the Krogan says.
That's fine by me. I holster my assault rifle. But I'm not backing away.
She's going to hold up her hand and hold a button on the phone, and then put away her pistol, and simply say, "Dead man switch."
Okay. Okay. What the younger Krogan says, and he quickly puts away his gun. At that point, the other two Krogan hesitatingly follow suit, and they put away their weapons.
And then she's going to fiddle with the phone and then take her finger off of it and put it away. Good call. Good call.
All right. Meanwhile, back with Sync. So Sync's vital signs are increasing. Sync, your hit points are now at 0. You're still unconscious, but you're at least stable at 0 hit points.
Yay.
Thank goodness.
Elias, you believe that's as far as you can get right now until he gets full medical attention. You at least got him to the point where he's stable again, but yeah, he's going to need some help, especially with his systems overheating. The soil seems to be helping to mitigate the effects of the heat that Otto is putting on Sync, but he doesn't have much time.
We need to
gotta
get
get back to the
Sync
ship
back onto the ship now.
Rayne's gonna look back at the others and see if they can give her any kind of word or signal.
The others?
Like the ones that are dealing with Sync. She's
Okay.
gonna kind of like make slight of a half face while she's looking at him. Like, are you guys done? Like,
Yeah, I said that out loud, so
well, I didn't know if she could hear you or not. So,
yeah. I'm not that far away, you can hear me.
okay.
Arkara will look back at Anar and say, you take care of the old chief, and I'll take care of the rest. And I walk up to the 3 guys at the stairs.
He'll put away his assault rifle and say, and then he'll say, yeah, you got it. And he'll do what she just suggested.
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
Like, are you trying to kill him, or are you just picking him up?
I'm basically just telling him to keep an eye on him and make sure
okay.
that no one else touches him, basically. And then I'll go
I'll
up to
play
the guys and
Watch Dogs, I'm
headbutt
just so
the
good
largest
at it.
of them. And just-
Nice. Roll me a brawl. See how well this goes.
Payback.
Let's see. It had to be brawling.
Did you put your armor on?
No.
Okay.
Ooh,
checking.
that just makes her more
Nice.
badass.
Nice. Go ahead.
I vote Paragon.
Nice.
Or Renegade.
23.
Roll the damage for that sucker.
What is the damage on melee? It is...
Bare hand to hand. I don't know if you have hand to hand, but
I have no idea.
Lee. I'm not sure what
I don't
melee
mind
damage
that,
is.
I don't know what
I
it
want to
is.
say try just for right now. Use a strength. Just use a regular strength for right now.
Oh, wow,
Strength
okay.
roll, just for now.
I'll just see if I don't think. Yeah, cool. 15.
15. That's decent. That's moderate. He says, impressive. Are you the one who took down the chief? Kel.
Well, first and foremost, you got the name wrong. And second, I was part of it. Now, you need to go out there and make sure that you choose wisely for your next chief, and then you leave these people alone to go do whatever they need to do.
The young Krogan says, the next chief is supposed to be the one who defeated the previous chief. That's why we were asking you.
Uh-oh.
Rayne's gonna speak up. Then you would like a Hanar as a chief then?
Woo!
Or would you rather put it to a vote?
I'll just
No Krogan is going to follow a Hanar, the Krogan says.
Whoops!
Well, this Hanar is better than most of you guys, that's for sure. Now get out of the way, and you're gonna give me some answers.
Roll and intimidate, Arkara. I think intimidate
shit.
can definitely be a strength. I feel like normally an intimidate is a strength. Can be strength based. So as an option, you can use intimidate with your strength roll.
Nice.
Cool, because I don't have any intimidate, but I
Yeah,
do have
use that-
I
use
strength.
that.
didn't have that last game. That would have been so much scarier.
The Krogan says. The Krogan does not respond and says he gets out of your way.
Good. Now come along. I need answers.
Okay.
I crack my knuckles.
The two Krogan and the three Krogan follow you. Actually, the two Krogan follow you. The youngest Krogan walks up to Rayne, and he pulls out his weapon, but he doesn't aim it at Rayne. Instead, he holds up his weapon towards Rayne, and he takes out what appears to be the equivalent of a marker, a very crude marker.
She is going to take the weapon and take his marker, and then she's gonna sign it, and then like down beside her signature, she's going to put like a little cat face, and then give it back to him.
He says, yes, I can get thousands of credits from this on the extranet. And then he runs off.
Try for 3 digits. Other than that, if it's not that, you're getting ripped off. That kitty face is rare.
The Krogan says as he grunts at you with approval, and then he leaves. Arkara, where are you going at this point?
I'm trying to gather up as many of the females as I can, and as many of, I guess, the males as well. Just trying to gather everyone up.
When the other male Krogans approach you and they ask, "What happened to the chief?" because rumors started flying, and the Krogan says, "She's what happened to the chief." The Krogan at first look like they stare at the other Krogan in disbelief, but then they realize there's probably some truth to what they said, so they don't argue or say anything. You are able to gather the female Krogan that are out in the streets, as well as gather some of the male Krogan. You can probably guess that half of them are at least seething, but none of them seem to be getting in the way of what you're doing, but they seem to be very sour in their mood. But nobody crosses you at the moment. Otto is probably going to go with you too, by the way.
Yeah, cool.
Meanwhile, Rayne, she's gonna run over and help everyone deal with Sync, and she, like, as soon as the other Krogan leaves, she's gonna like slump over and be like, "Oh God, kill man switch bluff works every time."
Okay, where are we in relative to both the main exit and our ship?
Where are you?
Yes.
So how far away are you from the ship is what you're asking me?
Yeah.
Miles.
I would say I would say a few miles. It would probably take you an hour to get back to the ship.
We don't have enough time. Okay.
Now, Rayne, you did get here by Land Rover, so you could get there
Yeah.
faster with your Land Rover.
If by Land Rover you mean totally awesome modified sports car, then yes.
Possibly a different looking one. If that's the case, it's probably a different looking one from Liam Bathaniel Muses.
Yeah. She prefers green.
You probably do have a very nice looking car. Arguably, it might even be better than Liam's. Arguably.
It even has AC, guys.
And cup holders. Cup holders.
I was going to suggest that you can stick sync into Anar's suit, but if he's got air conditioning, he should be fine.
I do want to know what Arkara is doing with the rest of the Krogan, so go ahead, Arkara.
I look over the people, the Krogan that I've managed to gather, and I just sort of look at them all and... Alright, now I need answers. What happened here in the last 5 years?
One of all the Krogans at first don't look like they want to speak, but then suddenly one of the female Krogan, who looks like you, who may very well be the same Krogan that you spoke to last time, says, they started cloning the fertile females, and we have been trying to birth more children as quickly as we can.
Well, that doesn't explain everything, though.
Explains nothing.
What happened after I set fire to this place? And what happened to the shaman?
One of the Krogan says, the chief rose up afterwards. Kel, one of the Krogan says.
That is not my name. Why do you call me Kel?
Because you are her, are you not? You do not have the number tattooed on your wrist. Therefore, you must be the original Krogan, from which all of the other Krogan were cloned from.
But you see, that makes no sense. I set fire to this place to save this Kel. Me and Gyal left that night, but I'm not Gyal. And where is the shaman?
At the facility, one of the female Krogan says.
She should recognize me if no one else would. This is very, very odd. Take me to these facilities. Show me what you're doing here. And show me what this chief of yours achieved.
The Krogan start looking at each other, and one of the male Krogan says, "Follow us." So are we splitting the parties? Half of you going back to the ship and half of you going to the facility? Is that what's happening now?
Mm-hmm. Sounds like
Well,
it.
That depends. What do we do about Thek?
I don't know. Thek is still technically he's in critical condition.
I'm still looking over him.
He could probably die naturally if he doesn't get any medical attention.
Rayne's gonna just straight up ask everyone, it's like, would this guy know more about what's going on around here than anyone else, or no?
Did we overhear what Akara's been doing?
Is there any chance that he might know where the portal is that we need to seal?
I can find the portal. The portal isn't the issue. It's whether or not we need him to access the facility, but somehow I doubt it.
I guess we could hand Thek to the other Krogans and have him be locked up.
I say let his people deal with him. He made his bed. He can lie in it.
Sounds
Works
good.
for me.
All right. With that, Anar will pick him up. Just for the record, Anar's systems are still heavily damaged, but he's going to be able to drag him over to these guys and probably toss them their way. And need some serious repairs. He's getting really sick of that loud screaming alarm.
Are you carrying his body while Arkara is giving her speech or giving her questioning?
Sure, why not?
So are you basically she's basically looking for answers and you're just kind of dumping the chief in front of everybody. Is that basically what you're doing?
Yeah, you'll probably ask Arkara.
All
It's
right.
like, what do you want? What do you want done with this garbage?
I would like to see him dead, but I don't know if he knows more than these goons do.
Rayne's gonna call out, it's like, hey, make a decent punching bag if nothing else.
I like how that Asari thinks.
One of the Krogan yells out, "Chief was the one who was saving the Krogan."
If you call more or less enslaving the females, yeah.
The females have a purpose, an honorable purpose. They are the ones who will be able to make sure that the Krogan race continues on.
But
Unless
not in
you
this
are
way.
against that.
We need to carry on, but not in this way. This manner is unnatural.
One of the female Krogans actually says, "We've run out of ways. This is the only chance we have. This is the only chance we've been given."
Well, if the men here would stop killing us and killing themselves, then we might actually be able to do something about it another way, but they seem too stupid to realize this.
Is Rayne hearing all of this, by the way?
I will say that the rest of the group catches up at this point.
Okay. She's going to be like, I don't know if you're aware of this or not. So, spoilers, there is a different way. What do you guys think I've been doing here?
I turn to Rayne and what have you actually been doing here?
Question. A question for notice. Is Rayne looking in any way synthesized?
No.
I'm assuming not. Cool. Okay.
Do we even
just
know
asking.
Rayne's name?
Everyone knows
Everyone
Rayne's
knows
name.
Rayne's name.
Yeah,
Even
I
you,
don't.
Anar. Yeah, you think she should have won.
You obviously
yeah,
know
that-
her name.
You're the one who says she should have won.
We've had this conversation
never mind.
already. Game one.
You all know who she is.
All right, I forgot. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
To answer your question, she points to Arkara, because, I don't know any of your names, other than, well, let's not get into that. Anyway, what I have been doing here is, I like singing. I like spreading my image to the Krogan people. But all of the funds have been going into genophage cure research. I've been collecting none of them. And
May I
it's
ask why you are so generous?
because I believe that a people should live or die by their own merits and not because they were injected with a thing that makes them incapable of breeding properly. Like, I don't see what's so hard to understand about that.
Well, it seems like most of the galaxy is against us, so it's odd to see someone with us. I appreciate it, though.
Hey, I'm not
There
a
is-
staple for Asari, so...
There is another option.
What are you saying, Elias?
A cure already exists somewhere else.
Well, you do have a point.
Wasn't it destroyed though?
No, in the synthesis universe, the Krogans were cured, I believe.
Yeah, but that tower was destroyed. That's where it was
But
uploaded.
But you could
Still
probably use the
synthesi-
blood sample.
But you could
Yeah, you
still
can receive-
synthesize it from a healthy Krogan tissue.
Yes.
So
Okay.
it could jumpstart the scientific research here.
Yeah, but isn't that universe meddling?
Like everything else we've been
Everything
doing.
we're doing universe meddling?
Yeah, but too much could cause one hell. Never mind. Anar is not smart enough to figure
Let's
this
put
stuff
it this
out
way:
anyways.
if we don't look, It's an option. Or we could just go close the damn portal and leave.
Rayne's gonna be looking between all of them, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna need the story later on that one.
Well, it'll take
And
some time to go back and forth.
Elias, as
It would-
in.
Different one.
Okay, gotcha. Cool. At least you're not a prick. Moving on.
That you know of.
Let's
One
go
of the
see this
Krogan-
facilities.
Take them to go see the FOTG, one of the Krogan says.
What?
The FOTG. You know what that means,
Oh
right?
my gosh.
That explains everything.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
So, I guess in the meantime, Rayne's going to take the people that need to go to the ship in her, like, going illegally fast to the ship, and then she's going to drop whoever needs to be dropped off, and then she's going to come back.
Yeah,
because
so is
she
is
has
anyone
with the Thek clan anyway.
so is anyone not going to the facility then and going with Rayne? Are you going to meet up with them at the facility?
I am, yeah, after I
Okay.
drop them off.
So who
I'll
is
come
going...
along just to make. I'll tag along just to make sure he makes it there safe.
The Krogan will get onto one of their Land Rovers, and they will drive you up north from the clan. Elias, while you're determining the using your scanner, you are able to pick up a signal in that direction, but there is a part where the facility they continue going north, and the signal kind of, you basically drive past the signal. So wherever the gate is not exactly where the facility is, but it's probably within 3 miles of it to the east,
Right.
if that makes sense. So it's not exactly where it is.
Sure.
You finally reach what appears to be a structure that is about 2 or 3 stories tall. You can probably guess, though, that maybe there's more underground.
I'm bringing up the schematics of the actual original facility in my heads-up display on in my suit. Does it match?
It does, except it looks like an extra floor was added to the top.
Right.
Okay.
Cool.
The rover stops, and the giant gate opens, and it drives through inside of the facility. You guys emerge, and the Krogan lead you down into the main entrance of the facility. The smell of the facility is kind of dank. It doesn't look like it's particularly well kept. You can still see some damage, as in burnt damage around the facility, as if it was. They might have attempted to do some repairs to it, but they decided to not. At some point, it got a little bit neglected at that front. And there appears to be a lot of Solarians around. The Solarian scientists look very surprised to see the group of you, especially since most of you are not Krogan. And you see large tubes. I mean, think Grunt when you met Grunt in Mass Effect. There's these large tubes that you can see in about, I guess, a quarter of them, or about a quarter of the tubes seem to contain unconscious bodies of female Krogan. One of the Solarians comes up to you, and he looks like this. Don't know if any of you guys will be able to recognize this Solarian, but that's what he looks like.
Oh, it's
Looks
Morlin.
like
Is that
Sorry?
Paddock?
Is that Morlin or Paddock?
it's not Morden. It's Paddock. Paddock Wicks.
Paddock,
Paddock
yep.
Wicks.
Paddock Wicks.
Oh, the one who got it wrong.
Yep.
The one who got it wrong. Paddock says, you have brought visitors to our facility. The Krogan male turns towards Arkara as if they're waiting for her to call the shots, I guess.
Yeah, I'm here to get some answers. What's happened
Kel.
that's lost?
The
And why
Paddock-
does everyone get my name wrong?
Paddock twists his head. Kel, didn't I just see you? He points towards the direction. The other Arkara is in a big giant tube, just down that you can see just down the hallway.
What is going on here?
Paddock pulls out his device, and then he looks like he's scanning something. Oh, that can't be. There are no records of. He looks very surprised. I see. So you're the first, he says, turning to Arkara.
The first of what? What have you been doing here?
You're the first clone. You were the first clone of Kel Gael.
I saved Gael. I burned the place down 5 years ago to save her, to get her away from Target.
Sorry, he says, I don't know anything about that. I've only been in this facility in the last 2 or 3 years.
Is there anyone who knows what happened 5 years ago?
You might have to ask the shaman.
Where is she?
I'm afraid I am not at liberty to show you to the shaman without permission from the chief.
Well, he's indisposed, so I'll be the next best thing for now.
Paddock turns towards the Krogan and says, "Is that true?" The Krogan just nods. Oh, well, I suppose if that is the case, I can have you go see her then. Walk this way, please.
Yes.
Walk this way! Sorry.
You will follow the Solarian down the hallway, and again, Arkara, you pass the other you, whom, again, everyone was referring to as Kel. And the Solarian will go to what appears to be some sort of a cell door. Before we enter, he says, I have to explain to you that this was completely, that the precautions that have been taken for this particular Krogan was completely against my personal desire. The chief insisted. And so he opens the door, and you see at the very far end a elderly looking female Krogan. She is sitting in what appears to be a dressed up jail cell, a dressed up cell, as in there's like furniture, there's comfy enough-ish furniture. And
A gilded cage.
yeah, it's basically a gilded cage, comfy enough-ish furniture, and the Krogan is chained at the leg, chained at the leg to the center of the room, and she's actually appears to be reading some sort of a book as you come in. The Krogan looks up in your direction, and she pulls out what appears to be, I guess it would be those glasses that are on a stick, you know, that they use normally for like operas and stuff, but a futuristic version of them. And then she looks towards you and says, "Is that you, Kel?
Shaman!
You are out of your pod, it seems. Did they finally release you? Have we made enough of our people?"
What happened to you, Shaman? What is going on here? And why do you call me
Wait.
Gal?
Wait. Come closer, child.
I step closer.
Ephraim!
No, oh gosh.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's Ephraim, yes.
She's been reborn as a Krogan.
Yeah, she was reborn as a Krogan, there we go.
Did you bring the milk?
The shaman looks at you up and down and says, wait, no. Arkara. You shouldn't be here. But I must say I'm very happy to see you.
What has happened here, shaman?
Many changes have been going on here, child. Unfortunately, many against our will.
Something did seem very off when
You
I got
must-
back here.
You must be very confused, my child. And I must apologize for that.
What has happened here? And what happened to Kel?
Ugh. What I am about to tell you first will probably upset you greatly, and it might make you very upset, not only to the male Krogan, but also to me. But I believe that you deserve to know the truth. How much do you remember, Arkara, from back then?
I remember the fire and you helping me and Kel get to the spaceport, and that
Yes.
you figured out a way to get at least me off the planet and hide Kel.
Yes, you helped. You helped save us from the treachery of Tarak. Unfortunately, shortly after you left, his brother, Thek, was furious and sent a mad witch hunt looking for you.
Well, that sounds like him, all right.
He wasn't able to find you, and so he came back. Very upset. But he was determined to continue with the research in order to try to find a cure for the genophage, to continue on with Mr. Cyrus's work. Oh, I'm sorry, you don't even know who Cyrus is.
I don't know why he is connected to this, and
Cyrus was a Solarian who offered a second chance for the Krogan. He claims that he had the ability to help us, and that is how this facility was built. He was able to help our previous chief, Tarak, create this facility in order to clone other fertile females. Something happened along the way that upset Cyrus, and he left the project, taking with him all of his research. This greatly infuriated Tavek. Meanwhile, you were already born. You were the first clone, Arkara, of Kel.
how
Dun dun dun.
how is that even possible?
You, as the clone of Kel Gael, became very close. The two of you were like sisters, best of friends. You thought like each other, talked like each other. You had a very special bond, and you were very protective of her. You also shared a lot of her memories. The memories of the child that was killed by Tarek's own hand. The child that she later used to name you after. Her first child was named Arkara. Therefore, to tell the two apart, she named her first clone Arkara.
How is this even... I start to sway on my feet and reach for the wall, trying to stay upright.
What happened next, he says, you think the conditions with the other females were very dire. Tarek was very violent as he raged at the escaped Solarian. He took out his anger on the females. Kel, unfortunately, was not very battle ready, but you, being someone who was just born, and I guess I shouldn't say naive, but not jaded, I suppose, decided to take arms personally against Tarek. In the end, you were victorious. But then, everyone saw you as a target. You were to be hunted. As powerful as you were, there was no way, she says, that you would be able to defend yourself against the entire clan. So, we asked for some help. We needed to get you a new identity. We needed to get you as far away from the clan as possible. I was able to contact an old friend, Shaias Lazine, to come up with a new identity for you. But you made a very special request, Arkara, for the protection of not only the people who are back here, but for yourself. You asked me for one last favor before you left. You asked me to modify your memories so you would always believe that you were always Arkara, your own self, and not a clone. You were never a very good liar, and you felt that in order for you to keep your cover and in order to fool everyone else, you had to fully believe that you are not a clone, but your own original person. I was able to use my shaman abilities, my biotics. I have a share of biotics in order to modify your memory. And at that point, you are ready to escape and go off into the world. That was the last I ever saw of you.
Whoa.
That explains why everyone keeps calling me Gel, I guess.
But you are not Kel. You are your own person, Arkara. You are your own identity now. You made it so. By your own choice. Nobody else.
This is almost too much. But what has happened here? Why is everyone so docile, I guess? Was that...
Thek, he says, was able to find a way to bring the facility back. A group known as the Friends of the Galaxy came, saying that they wished to help the Krogan. And Thek jumped at the opportunity. I don't think, she says, I don't think anyone in the FOTG intended for anything corrupt to happen to all of the females. I think they were more worried about making sure that this cure worked. How the Krogan, according to them, how the Krogan decided to use the cure was up to them. Personally, I think all they care about is getting extra credits in their pocket for their good deed. But that's just me, the shaman says.
I think you're right. This is not how it's supposed to be. This is...
The Solarians here have treated me very well. Do not fault them. They are merely following their orders and doing what they believe is their job. I think the higher-ups, however, that Chen is the corrupt one. He is the leader here with the Friends of the Galaxy.
Chen.
Is he here at the facility?
No relation?
She says, I'm assuming if he hasn't gone on his usual business trip that he is up at his office. You should be careful of that one. He used to be... She looks around to make sure nobody's listening. He used to be an ex-Cerberus, dear.
Well, that is interesting. I shall have to meet this Chen. But why are you chained up in here?
She says, Thek didn't trust me.
Of course he did.
But he knew that if he killed me, that none of the female Krogan would listen to anything he said. So instead, I am kept here, alive, comfortable enough. But I have been completely cut off from the rest of the clan. At the very least, I can stay here and make sure that the conditions of the female Krogan here are at least as acceptable as possible. But once they leave this facility, I don't have any such control anymore.
This needs to stop, and we need to make sure that the females already out there are well taken care of, I guess. This is not right anyway.
The Solarians mean well. Like I said, they truly believe that they are doing good here, helping the Krogan find a way to reproduce.
Well,
I'm not saying that I condone the things that Thek has been doing, but it's not a simple good or bad.
it never is it? Ugh. Will you help me try to fix this?
Yes, my child. I think the time has come for you to reclaim your home.
I think so too. This needs to be taken care of.
Meanwhile, back at the ship.
Rayne's car, by the way, is very spacious, and there's plenty of room for Sync to just lay down in there. It's very comfy.
I'm there right next to him.
It's also very, very illegal in many ways, especially the speed that she's going. Like, she
That's
should not
fine.
be able to go that fast.
You are able to make it back on the ship at record time. And I'm assuming you will rush Sync up into the med bay.
Mm-hmm.
Cyrus is already there, and he actually is reading some sort of a magazine, probably playing Sudoku or whatever, while you guys enter in, and you. So you guys enter into the ship.
Rayne's gonna
Put them on the
basically
table.
like throw the door open and be like, "Hey, Doc, we got a banged up guy for you."
Oh, I see. So how the tables have turned. All of a sudden, you need my help.
I don't know who you are.
He says that as, I guess, towards Cicepia, as she's putting Sync down onto the table.
She's gonna
Come
look
on, you're
back
a doctor. You're supposed
back
to.
between them and be like, "All right, I see how this is going. This is gonna be interesting."
We need your help.
I'm on it, he says. He starts examining him. Let's see, his visor starts doing a scan. Yes, he looks like he's hanging on by a thread. Poor thing. Sort of taps Sync by the cheek. Let's see what we can do to jumpstart you a bit. And he starts pulling out medicine from the cabinets. As he's working, he basically starts to he gives Sync a little bit of an anesthetic, and then it looks like he's going to attempt to do some sort of surgery.
Yeah, during this time, she's still holding on to that gun wound. Again, probably mostly because she doesn't know what else to do in this kind of situation, using the hood that she wears.
He will notice that you're doing this, and he will start patching up that wound to stop the bleeding. And while he's doing this, he says, "So, have you guys found my old facility? What condition is it now these days?"
They're on their way over there now.
I don't know. The jerks wouldn't let me in, but now that been seeing with you guys, I guess I can drive over there after I'm done here.
Yeah.
He starts patching him up and says, "So, I take it if I am able to save your friend, we can be even then, right?"
I suppose so.
He's going to continue working. I don't know if you guys will ask him anything while he's working.
So, what was it like during your stay on this planet?
Rayne is snooping. She's just poking around
The
in
last
cabinets.
time you were here. Anything you could tell?
It's a
us
Krogan planet. What do you think? It wasn't exactly 5-star hotel worthy.
What was the research you were working on? It was the genophage, but can you give specifics?
Cloning, as I said. I wasn't able to figure out an actual way to cure it directly, but what I could do is try to clone the fertile females so that they would be able to pop more babies out as quickly as possible. It worked. However, he says, I wasn't particularly happy with the way that his chief was treating said females that were cloned. He didn't consider them to be real Krogan, more like cattle that would be used for birthing process. That didn't go very well for me. It's not what I signed up for. So I took off my stuff and left. Roll a search check, Rayne. While you're thumbing through some things, you notice there appears to be a tattered photograph. It looks a little out of place because of the content of the photograph. It looks like it's a photograph of a little 10-year-old girl, 10-year-old human girl. When you pick up the photograph, that is when Cyrus yells out your direction, "Hey, what are you doing over there? That's not yours."
I'm keeping myself occupied while you cut open a guy on a table. I figured it was best for me not to be in the way.
He says, put the photo back. He seems very adamant about that particular photo.
Well, since you asked me...
Jeff is getting upset right now.
Well, since you asked
beginning.
me so nicely, I guess I will put the photo back and go snoop somewhere else. You're welcome, dick.
Go snoop in the female. Go snoop in the female Asari's room. Notice how he specified the word female Asari, which is probably confusing to you.
Sorry, I can't hear you over the... Oh no, I can't see.
You said that you made sure that you took all your technology away when you left. Is there anyone that you can think of who might have been able to take in the technology that you'd had and ran with it?
No, he says, nobody. I made sure I cleaned up all that I had, left no trace. The only way that anyone would have been able to replicate my work is if somebody from Cerberus itself was there.
Cerberus, huh? Do you have any names, per se?
He says, He says, I've never been with Cerberus, obviously. I have no idea. I'm just telling you that Cerberus is the group that first discovered, supposedly, the ability to clone. They are the source of my research. That is the only way that I can think of that anyone could possibly reproduce it, if it came from Cerberus itself.
In that case, I'll probably have to try to find some way to get back to there, see what kind of information I get when I get the chance.
Meanwhile, while Rayne is poking around, Drimmy is coming back from the engine room, and when he sees Rayne, he drops his toolbox. By the goddess,
She's gonna look up and then turn and then see Drimmy and go. She's gonna walk up and like spin him around and then walk back to the med bay and be like, why didn't you guys warn me about this?
About what? He says.
She's going to like point in Drimmy's direction. This? No.
Didn't think it was an issue.
You don't.
There is more pressing issues, I'm sorry.
You do realize that this single being right here makes Asari inbreeding look tempting, right? And you didn't think that was a problem? And she's gonna turn to Drimmy. He's like, my problem with you is you are too hot.
Drimmy, at that point, kind of blushes at this. I don't know if I should take that as an insult or a compliment, he says.
Jimmy, could you come into the bin bay?
No, I think I'm fine right here, thanks. He says as he's still staring at Rayne. He hasn't moved. It's like his
She's gonna tap her
feet
foot, have her hands on her hips, and is just going, okay, I'm done. I'm done, I swear.
Sink's on the table.
Sink is...
Yes.
Oh, he
Could you
runs
come in?
over. He runs over to Sink. What happened? And he rushes over.
She's gonna be like, bullet dodged. Okay, let's keep going.
He started overheating, I guess, the environment, and then I don't know what
gosh.
happened. He just was acting robotic. Was about to shoot someone in the head, and he got taken down.
He runs out of the med bay, grabs his toolbox, and then comes back in. Hey! What do you think you're doing? Cyrus says. Are you? He says. You're medical, I'm mechanical. If we're going to bring Sink back, you're gonna need both of us. Cyrus says, all right. Pull up a chair. You take that side. You take the top, I'll take the bottom, Cyrus says. And then they start, continuing on. Sink, meanwhile. Sink, you find yourself in a detail-less surrounding. It's not white, it's more blank. It's not black, it's not white, it's just blank. I'll let you imagine what that might look like, because it's a little bit
Loading
deep in
screen
conception.
from Assassin's Creed.
You feel like you are very light, as if you're floating. You feel a little bit of peace. It's not scary. It's a little confusing, but you don't really feel any fear. You're kind of just... You don't feel happy, you don't feel sad, you just feel very zen. You're very zen right now. And even though you can't see yourself, so when have you guys ever had the idea that if you're dreaming, somehow in your dream you kind of know what you look like, even though you're not actually seeing. Yeah, like out of body experience kind of. So you're aware right now, Sink, that you are without any cybernetics. You are your full body before you started doing any cybernetics. You were, and you hear the voice, a female voice behind you, and she says, "That's the way I remembered you." It's Trissy's voice. Beatrice's voice.
Okay. So you said the voice is behind me?
Mm-hmm. You turn around.
Spin around really
You
quick.
spin around, and Beatrice is dressed in the same dress that you had in your room, in that one room. She's wearing the exact same dress. And she's bright. Not like, I can't look directly at you bright, but she's like this beacon. And she feels you start feeling warm, pleasantly warm.
Okay.
She gives you a smile and says, "Hello, Al."
Beatrice, is that really you?
Do you need it to be?
Yes.
For all you know, this is all just in your head, Al. But if you need it to be, then it shall.
What is this place? Where am I?
She says, "The between. You've been doing a lot of crossing over that you don't really notice the between. Jumping from one world to another."
I don't understand. Have I brought you back?
I never left.
I'm...
She smiles.
I don't understand. I'll take her hand and I guess embrace her.
You'll take her hand and you give her a big hug, and she returns the hug back.
I'll just say like I missed you. I love you. I'm sorry. I never meant for my ambitions to be the end of you. I just want to make everything right. I want to fix everything.
That's just like you, she says as she returns the hug back. Always trying to fix everything, even if it's not broken. Al, I thought you were perfect just the way you were. But you really wanted to improve yourself, and so I supported you in that. But I hope you know, the way you are here, right now, that's all a gal could ever want.
I'll kind of take what she said and look down at my hands and like,
Yep.
wait, how did this happen? He's so confused. He's just like, his mind's like all over the place right now.
You can't go back to the way you were, Al. The choices you've made already, you can't go back to that. But I think you have to go back to them.
To who?
She smiles again, and she gives you a kiss on the forehead. I'll see ya, she says. And you start, the scene fades away, and your eyes begin to open on the operating table of the medbay, and there's this bright light shining at you as a scanner from a visor is scanning over you, and he says, pretty boy's waking up. At this point, you hear Dremmy's voice says, Sync, are you okay? Sync, say something.
Dremmy, is that you?
Yeah.
Where am I?
You're on the ship. You're safe. You kind of gave us a scare there.
What happened? I remember being on Tachanka. Next thing I know,
you started overheating, and then you just seemed like you were walking, sort of robotic looking. Was about to shoot the clan leader in the head, and you got taken down by one of the bodyguards.
Robotic, huh?
Yeah.
Damn it.
It's all right, Dremmy says. You'll be okay. We're able to patch you up, and you should be as good as new soon, Dremmy says.
Oh, thanks for the help. I'll look over at Cicepia. Didn't expect to see you here in this moment, but I appreciate it more than you know.
No problem. Just doing my job. And I'm gonna head over to the sink and try to like wash the hood as much as I can.
So where's everybody at outside? Anybody else hurt?
No, everyone else is alright. They went over to the cloning facility.
Cloning facility?
Yeah.
What? Wait, are we still on the planet?
Yeah, we're still on Tachanka.
Oh, and at this point, he's gonna try to get off the table. We gotta get down there and help him. Try to get it up.
No, you relax. You overheated just getting on that planet.
At this point, you guys, where's Rayne, by the way? Is she still at
poking around in the bedrooms, and right now she's like on her hands and knees trying to peek under the door that's locked. Like, what is in there?
You hear, Rayne, while you're poking around, you hear a shriek from behind you.
I can jump up real quick and look around. It's like, all right, who's dying where? What?
She says,
Oh god.
she says, you're in the exact same way as Meridi did, but in a female voice.